I love that song. I don't know. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to episode number 7 of Chat with Chuck. Sam Nation's here. How you doing, Sam? DJ Alice, I see in the chat. Hackman, Annie Bonnie, nice to see you guys. We have lots to cover today. Um, uh, you are probably here because I told the world that I reached out to a number of DJs and I got input on how to make your show, how to make the show special, how to make what's the magic to get people to come to your show, to hang out, to support you, and I have pages and pages and pages of info that I got from a number of DJs, both large and small, that we're going to run through today. Irish Dragon, hi there, and hopefully some of the stuff I knew, some of the stuff I knew already, and but some of the stuff was kind of eye opening. There were some things that one streamer sent to me, and I promised not to use any names, so I'm not going to. Um, that very in depth about moderators, and he was feeling that moderators carry such a load that to keep your show good and interactive and fantastic. A lot of pressure, a lot of pressure on the mods that he has. That I'm gonna share with some stuff with everybody. For those of you that are first time viewers, I see Sam Nation. Hi, glad to see you here. We have a couple different segments that we usually do today. I'm not sure I'm going to get to them because there is so much to cover with the magic that is Twitch. But just so you know, so fair warning, this is called Chat with Chuck, and the with is your part. And so hopefully, if you want to chime in on the chat, if you want to say something, if making a point, you want to you want to bring it up, you want to counterpoint it, you want to poo poo it, you want to yay it, whatever. Feel free to put it in the chat. And then the last 5 minutes of the show, what we normally try to do is a thing that I call run to the chat, which means I'm going to open the chat up to anything. It doesn't even have to be necessarily what we're talking about today, just your opportunity to, to mouth off about something, to question something, to ask me a question about something. And I am completely open. I'm trying to be, Cyberchair, how you doing? I'm trying to be as open and honest and not hiding as I can be on this show without getting in trouble, without having Twitch kick me off again. Actually, they didn't kick me off; they banned me. But that's for another episode. Antibody, a longtime supporter and one of my key lurkers that hangs out on my show. Doesn't talk much in the chat, but Antibody, welcome. Nice to see you. Alice, thank you for taking care of some of the mod duties. Um, as you will notice that there is not. Uh, come on, Chuck. What's the word? Redemptions. I have all that kind of stuff kind of turned off, so we can just focus on the show, and that's what we're going to be doing. I do take these shows and I upload them to YouTube, and I put them on a YouTube channel. Um, I was putting them on Spotify, but Spotify kept kicking me off, kept deleting my episodes because I was playing music during the episode, and, and even on YouTube, they'll quiet it, they'll mute it on some of those sections. So I am trying to do a couple things from changing from the very first shows. One is I'm trying not to swear as much, which I've been known to do, and two is I'm trying actually not to play music, so I can put these on Spotify without getting them kicked off, without getting myself kicked off, and without YouTube muting me. We were putting them on Amazon Music, but we haven't had much luck with that one yet. Music Spins, how you doing? For those of you that are listening on YouTube, maybe as you're driving down the road, I do occasionally um, change my train of thought as I talk to the chat or as I say hello or acknowledge somebody that comes in the chat. 'Cause I do want to try to acknowledge people as you come in because honestly, I I so appreciate you guys coming in here and hanging out, and I hope to build this up to just kind of have fun. I don't expect a whole lot of this podcast, but I just want to get with fun. All right, so we have some people here. I don't know exactly how many people are in the chat, but we're going to go ahead and kind of get started. And again, uh, if you have questions as I'm bringing something up, please feel free to drop them in the chat, and we will we will try to address them. And I'm not going to take these in any kind of order. I'm going to kind of break them up, split them up, change them around a little bit. And what I did was, as people were responding to me, I basically copied and pasted them, and I put them on paper, and then I read through them, and I kind of highlighted um, key points because some of them are very long, and I didn't want to sit here and have to read the whole thing. But I picked out the pieces that I thought um, were most relevant. And the reason that this started is because my 5-year anniversary on Twitch was in March, and I am what I consider a baby streamer. I like to say hello to Mr. Lattenhouse, and I don't normally get a lot of viewers, and I was always wondering why. I mean, I'm usually if I get 15 people in one of my music streams, I'm usually pretty happy. Um, if I get a raid or something, that's different. But getting people on my own, having people either waiting for me to go on or for people to come in once I'm streaming, I don't get a whole lot, and really never have. And so I was kind of like, well, why? What am I doing? What do I need to do to try to get more people into my chat that will hang out, that will um, uh, be ready and be willing to just come hang out with me and have fun. I don't expect to be some of these huge monster streamers that get out there. And one of my favorite streamers to watch is a lady named Cynthia she's got like 300 and something thousand followers. Always gets like 1,000 people in her chat. I don't expect that to happen. That would scare me first of all to begin with. But it would be nice. You listen more golf tips. Irish Dragon says, "Give me more golf tips. We'll come in." Um, but it would be nice. I would love to have a constant chat of around 20 to 25 people or viewers that would come into the chat, and they would be vocal in chat, because as I have told my moderators and some of my close friends, I can have 100 people in my chat, or there can be 100 viewers. Let's say that there can be 100 viewers, but if nobody's chatting, for me, um, that's the make or break. I'll leave. I'll rate out, because for me personally, um, a lot of the enjoyment that I get of playing music, which I do enjoy playing the music, is I enjoy interacting with the chat. And so that makes it a big deal to me. Mashup Mike, how you doing? Welcome in. So the chat thing is important to me. Deb, what do you mean it works both ways? We'll whip over to the chat. Dance DJ Deb, another great streamer. Welcome in, and she says, but it works both ways. Are you referring to that the chat has to be there and the DJ has to be there? Now, I know Dance DJ Deb, she's very active in her chat when she's streaming. She doesn't talk. You don't see Deb, or you don't talk to Deb. I'm a mobile DJ by trade. This is what I do. I do this for a living. I go out and I do weddings, I do corporates, I do all that kind of stuff. So that one-on-one thing is important to me. I like that. That's what I'm used to. If I just wanted to sit here and play music, that's a different vibe for me. Now I know everybody's different. Everybody has their own different kinds of shows. Everybody has their own different vibes. If you want peeps to talk, you have to talk back in theirs. Yes, and that's one of the things we're going to touch on. So let me start on this. Let me start on some of these pieces here, because I can get off on a tangent and go and take up the whole hour and never get to my pages. But the first thing that I think a number of DJs mentioned was consistency, a reliable schedule, letting people know that at Tuesday at 4 o'clock you're going to be on, and maybe even as this person says, your style on Tuesday at 4 o'clock. you're playing rock, or you're playing hip hop, or you're playing whatever. A reliable schedule is very important, and I know personally that has been very, very hard for me, because I went through a stage last year of I kind of go up and down, and I kind of got into to a stage of I enjoyed playing music, but I didn't like the pressure of having to have a reliable schedule, right? So that's on me. My attitude was kind of like I want to stream, but I want to stream on my terms. And so when I feel like going on, yeah, I'm going to go on. I don't, but I don't have to be. For example, I do a what I call Mellow Mondays. Every Monday night, 9 o'clock is when I do it, right? But I don't want to have to do it, right? But 99% of the time, 9 o'clock on Monday nights, Pacific Standard Time, I'm doing my Mellow Monday show. That's not really reliable because I could be here or I could not be there. James, how you doing? Welcome in. Um, but a reliable schedule. More than one DJ mentioned that, and if you're a streamer, that's real important. Um, and we're not talking just when you go on, but when you go off, because um, streamer or viewers like to watch other DJs. So when they know what you're on, they know when you're off, so they can go to the next DJ. Very true. Most of my shows are 2 hours. If I do 3 hours, that's not unusual, but it's you know different. I know some streamers that stream for hours and hours and hours, and I don't really know when their end time is, but they stream as long as they want. My buddy DJ Ryan 22 is one of those DJs. So he streams on Wednesday night. Excuse me, Tuesday night, and he goes. Sometimes he'll go from 8 to 11. Sometimes he'll go 8 to 3 in the morning. You just kind of never know. But if somebody's watching him and they go, "Oh, cool, I'm going to watch Ryan from 8 to 11," and I can use Ryan because he's my pookie, he's my good friend. Um, and then oh, cool, and then at 11 o'clock, I'm going to go over to Dance Dance DJ Deb or Mashup Mike, and they plan that. But then if that streamer keeps going, now that viewer's got to make a choice. Now that viewer's got to make a choice. Do I stay here or do I leave and go over here? And if I leave and go over here, is that gonna, make me look bad to the streamer? So reliable stream times. That was one of the biggest things. And again, maybe some of you know this, maybe some of you don't. If um, some of these things, I've always kind of thought that a reliable. I thought about the beginning time. I didn't really think about the reliable end time. So that's something because I'm one of those guys where the end time is not always the same. So a reliable schedule. Engaging with your community. I like this one. Um, Viewers come back when they know when and where. Oh, sorry. Engage with the community. Oh, talk to your chat, but not too much. Okay, so this was a really good thing, but not too much. If you talk too much, you're going to lose people. Okay, cool. Now that's what that streamer felt like. Now another streamer down here thought you shouldn't talk at all. That people don't want talking, and so this is going to kind of one of those things where there's not going to be a right or wrong answer. The main thing that came across here was you do you, but that doesn't do me any good because I do me, and I'm still only getting 15 people in my chat. I want to get 25. I want to get 30 people in my chat. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? That's where this came from. Um, so the engaging with your community, talk to your chat, but not too much. Interactivity is a big reason people watch Twitch. Build relationships, recognize returning viewers, have inside jokes, celebrate milestones. If anybody's been in my chat before, they know I have a terrible memory, and I that is something that I think Mashup Mike, since he's here, I'll drop his name. I think he's really good at that. A lot of times when I pop in, and maybe he just makes notes, great notes. That's a big deal. Because when somebody comes in your chat, I know DJ Alice because DJ Alice and I we've talked. She's talked to my wife, so I know DJ Alice is up there and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of times a streamer, and I'll have to ask so many times, 4 or 5 times, where are you from? That doesn't make the streamer feel active. Alice says consistency, the same type of music, the same schedule, talk, and get on more raid trains. We're going to touch on raid trains because that was a biggie in here too, to get more active engagers. So yeah, interactivity, and, interact with your people. That was huge. Inside jokes and stuff like that. I'm going to get into this. This person here mentioned them, but there I got a really good moderators section here. But this person says moderate well and have great mods. A safe, fun chat experience is essential. Have mods that consistently show up and you trust fully with your channel. That's a biggie. My mods. Uh, because I'm inconsistent, I don't expect my mods to be consistent. And I tell my mods, look, I love it when my mods are there, and God love you when my mods are there. Alice, you're there, and Jimbo and everybody. But if you can't be there, I'm not going to hold it against you because sometimes you never know when I'm going to go on. That goes back to the reliability. One of my mods for what is she up to? 11 or 12 streamers. Um, Mashup Mike is an honorary mod. Mashup Mike was one of my very first moderators and technical advisors. So Mashup Mike and I go way back. Um, but anyway, again, off on a tangent. So the moderators, that's huge. And moderators, I don't know if they can make or break the stream. Well, I mean, I guess they can make or break a stream, but I I I, I don't I, I I don't think I can stress enough how having good moderators that have your back, especially maybe if you're maybe more of a mixer DJ, because if you're a DJ, and we're going to get into that a little bit too. But if you're a DJ and you're actually a mixer DJ and you're constantly looking over here at your virtual DJ or your Serato or whatever it is program you're using, and you're queuing the music up and you're getting a song and you're lining the next song up, you're not always paying attention to your chat because you're over here doing this. Having the moderators that will watch your chat and interact with the people in your chat and will make the chat fun while you're doing your thing, that's biggie. Because if somebody comes in, for example, another streamer comes into your chat and you're over here doing this thing, and it happens to me, and I don't see somebody come in the chat, and to have the moderator pop in and go, hey, let's welcome, Mashup Mike, da da da, and puts a little command up. That's amazing. Question: What does the best gear does the best gear make you a better DJ? Um, does the, no, I don't think the best gear makes you a better DJ. You're either a good DJ or you're not. You know, what I do think though is that if you have better gear, more. I don't really don't want to say more expensive gear, but if you do have better gear, I think it makes you feel better about yourself, about your system. It's just like if you're a golfer. I'm a golfer, right? If you've got Kmart clubs or Costco clubs, and you go out and you're like, but if you've got pings like I've got, or Callaways or something good, you just feel better about yourself, and that gives you more confidence in your golf game. I think as a streamer, if you've got better gear, you feel good about when you're turning your gear on. You've got a show that's supposed to be reliable. You're supposed to be on at 8 o'clock. Okay, great. So you start your show, and you know that your gear, because you spent like my laptop's $1,500 laptop. That's not it's not a super expensive laptop, but it's definitely not a cheap laptop. So, but you feel good about that, and that I think just makes you feel better all around. Um, Not always the case. A good DJ can use almost anything. Yeah, but I'm trying not to actually get into the DJ world, as I'm trying to stay more into the Twitch world. But you're right. A good DJ, a good carpenter can build a house with a hammer, that he bought at the grocery store, probably, as well as like the expensive hammer from Snap-on Tools or whatever. So yeah, there is that ability. There is. We talked about that 2 shows ago, and I called it the spark. And there's, if you go to my YouTube channel for Chat with Chuck, there's a little 5-minute segment that I pulled out of just of that episode of just what I called the spark. And spark right there, and the spark is right here. And I don't want to get into it because we already did that. If you want to watch it, go to the YouTube channel, look up the spark episode, and that'll be great. So gear, yeah, gear is important, but it's not the end all be all. Did I miss anything else in the chat that I wanted to touch bases on real quick? I'm sorry if I missed something. Stankfinger, how you doing? Welcome in. Thank you so much. Alice was here. Okay, so engaging with the community, the mods. We're going to touch bases on the mods a little bit. Um, networking and collaboration. What makes you a good DJ is that you can play on any gear, Mr. Latin House. That is very, very true. I think a good DJ can play on any gear. A good DJ can walk into a club, see what they have, and go, bang, you're going. He can go to a festival, he can go to a wedding, he can be whatever. But again, um, uh, uh, a baby DJ, guys who are just starting out. I shouldn't say guys, excuse me. A person who is just starting out. Maybe they don't know the gear as well. Maybe they're a good technical, maybe they're a good DJ, but they just haven't had the experience with different types of gear. Sure, you throw them into a club with different gear, they might be like, geez, I've really never used this Denon controller before. How does it, But that's a whole nother animal. Networking and collaboration. Raid and host others. Yes. Um, let's see how am I gonna say this without annoying anybody. Raiding is really important. I think when I raid somebody, and gosh, there's people here in the chat that I raid, and um, when I raid somebody, I usually only like again, I don't get that many people unless something weird happens. Like last night happened to be one of those weird nights. I got 5 raids last night. I had 117 people in my chat at one point. Yes, I have messed up on raid trains, um, um, but that was unusual. So usually when I have my 10 or 12 or 9 or 8 people, um, uh, when I'm raiding out, if I see a streamer that's got 80 or 90 or 100 people in their chat, my thinking is they don't need my 8 people, right? They got a crap load of people in their chat already. They really don't need my 8, 10, 12 people. But you know what? That cat down here that has maybe, 5 or 6, or last night, or no, night before last, I rated somebody that had one person in their chat. They had one person in their chat. I only had 9. So I think that person with one person in their chat, they're going to appreciate my 9 people. And you want to talk about building community and building people that that can help each other out. That kind of starts that. So and again, I don't want to upset any of my friends here that are major streamers. But yeah, if you've got 200 people, if you've got 150 people, you got 100 people in your chat, and I've got 8 or 9, I'm going to raid somebody that's got 10, 12 people because they need my help. you know um, that's just how I feel. Paradox, you're welcome. Cyberture, how you doing? And raid trains, I love. I'm a raid train nut. I love raid trains. um, I have I have my attitudes and my thoughts about how to I put one raid train on about 3 years ago. My moderator, Retina Baby, it was her birthday, and I put a raid train on for her birthday. And my thought at the time was, yeah, I'll have 3 or 4 DJs. I'll ask a few cats. And I figured I had to ask more people than I needed because not everybody's going to say yes. I asked like 7 DJs, and they all said yes. So all of a sudden, my little 6-hour raid train that I planned into turned into like a 14 or 15-hour raid train. What a hassle! Now, Mr. Latin House, you're in the chat. You're a raid train putter. He does these 5-day frickin' raid trains, 60 DJs, and I don't know. I don't know how he does it. Um, but if you're going to be on a raid train, and where is my one page that was about this guy went off about raid trains. Um, and the here we go. Respect the train. If you're on a raid train, that's a great way to get new people coming into your train. or to your house because you're on a train, and hopefully it's a good train, and whoever people's coming in, they're going to come into your thing. Now, you all know, most of you have been on raid trains, and you know what happens is that a lot of times you get raided and stuff, and some people they'll just never talk because whatever, they don't care, or they'll leave because you're not playing what the last person played. But it's one of the best ways, I think, to get new viewers, because you get different people that would not know about you. Now you're on a raid train, and here comes some new people, and yeah, maybe you can pick up a new follower or two or three if you're lucky, and that's great. But you got to respect the train. Um, if you're on the train, don't start if you're going to get raided into by somebody. If I'm going to raid into you, and I'm looking at my Twitch thing here, and it's 10 minutes beforehand, and you're not on, I'm freaking out. I'm like, is that guy going to be on or not? 5 minutes. Do I keep playing? Do I raid somebody else? And all of a sudden, that person goes on like 1 minute or 2 minutes before their time. That just annoys me. Um, uh, so respect the train, and that's and if you do that, people are going to respect you. And I'm trying to tie this into the magic and getting more people into your chat, and that's just building up. That's just that networking aspect. And I guess we don't want to really go off on trains too much, but if you've got anything you want to say about trains, that's fine. Bring it up, and we can talk about it in the chat. Um, but yeah, I love raid trains. I think they're a great way to get new people in your chat. I think the more raid trains you do, the more followers you're going to get, and the more followers you're going to get, the more chances you're going to have of more people in your chat, and that's what we want. We want more people in our chat. How are we going to get more people in our chat? Raid trains are a great way to do it. Um, I'm at 2,400 followers, something like that. So raid trains are a great way. Um, Growth beyond Twitch. Use social media, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Clips and behind the scenes content can pull in new viewers. YouTube presence, things like that. Discord, if you're on Discord. I'm not on Discord. That's just one more thing I got to do. I don't know. But, maybe that's something that should be done. I know a lot of people have Discord here. Mr. Lattenhouse says, share the links, some damn links that are sent. Chuck is always sharing a link in other streams. Yes, I mean, again, if you're supporting the train, if you're, like when I'm on a train, gosh, here we go again. We're gonna get off here. If I'm on a train, if I'm on a train at 9 o'clock at night, I'm on that train at 9 o'clock in the morning or whenever it starts, and I'm gonna follow it as much as I can, and I'm gonna chat as much as I can that whole day to help it going. Tennessee Girl, one of my moderators. Um, so yeah, and share the link. Rapid Pal always has raid trains, and many are open. Yeah, or Raid Pal, excuse me. Yeah, if you go to Raid Pal, you can see what trains are up. You can see it lists which ones are open. You can click on that. You can say, hey, I want to be on your train. There you go. That's a great way to do it. Um, Again, I'm getting me off on raid trains here. I could do a whole show on raid trains. And anyway, so Discord's a great way to do it. Professionalism and brand awareness. Be dependable. Kind of goes back to that reliable thing. Um, Sub goals and monetization with care. Don't push too hard. I see that all the time. You don't want to alienate your viewers. You don't want to make your viewers feel guilty, and I see this sometimes, um, you know, from some streamers, and they're, hey, yeah, drop the biddies, or yeah, you got to do your subs, or da 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 da. I never push that. Of course, yeah, I love biddies, I love subs, bring it, but I'm not going to do that. And I think that if you do that, um, you're going to alienate some of your viewers, and that is what we don't want to do. We don't want to alienate the viewers. We want to keep them there. Um, you know, be yourself, do your show, but remember what you're doing. Unless you're a streamer who totally really doesn't care. That you just want to play me money. I'm sorry, I just read in the movie. You just want to play music, and you don't care if everybody comes there or not. Do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But I don't think anybody's like that, or you wouldn't be in my chat right now. I missed something Alice said. I'm sorry, the chat went between. Give me money. Yeah. Um, let's see. More importantly, just have fun. It's contagious. And here we go. No constant talking. I've seen so many streamers do this. I just go running the other way. I think song selection and not playing the big hits all the time will go a lot further than the constant parade of everybody else is playing this. And I go back and forth on this. My wife, who was not a huge '80s music fan, um, sometimes says, all you ever hear on Twitch is '80s. You know, why is everybody playing '80s? Well, that's right, man. I mean, let's play something else. So I'll play my rock, or I'll play my mellow, or whatever. But there's a reason that it's just like if you're a DJ in your wedding and people say, I don't want to hear that normal wedding music. Well, there's a reason you hear it at weddings all the time, because that's the stuff that works. That's the stuff that goes over. People enjoy that because not everybody goes out, every night and hears that music. You know, these people that go into weddings, they're going to hear Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. They're going to hear it once in a blue moon. We're playing it every freaking day. There's a reason why you hear a lot of '80s, because look at the chats. There's a lot of people that like that. Um, and again, this is do you. This is be you. Play what you want, but you have to play at least to your viewers a little bit. I know that sometimes I get off on tangents and I have a folder called Funkish. It's Funkish, 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 and it's weird freaking music. And when I get in a mood to play in that folder, bang, there people are leaving. You know, gotta play to your people. Um, Networking, shake those hands, kiss those babies. A streamer needs to be part of the community that they are trying to get into their channel. Show up in other people's streams, become friends with their mods, be friendly to the chatters. This keeps you in mind, so they might follow, they might see you and join in because they like you. At least they have an idea of who you are, and they might be curious. Um, I've seen so many streamers ask, "Why aren't I growing?" when they just aren't around. Like ever, out of sight, out of mind counts on Twitch. That is true. Dee Dee, how you doing? Um, there is a world, there is a life beyond Twitch. But if you're trying to build your stream, this is a good way to do it. Get out into other people's streams and be active in their streams. Just don't go lurking. And I see this all the time when people say, "Hey, come into my stream, da 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 da," and that's great, and they do, but they don't interact, and you chat. Um, you're welcome. Thanks, Didi. I'm glad you're here. Um, and yeah, so this is really good. The networking, be in other people's streams, let people kind of know who you are. Most streamers will say, "Hey, if you're a DJ, let us know when your next stream is." Pay attention to that. Do that. Let people know so they'll come to you, and don't be a jerk in that other guy's stream, because if that guy's a jerk, why would I want to go see his stream? No, this is good. Um, a bug-free setup. Yeah, right there. Um, I don't think I've ever had a. I'm stopping to think about my memory here. There is one streamer that I know of, and I actually haven't seen him around for a while, so maybe they aren't there. But it almost is like they couldn't get through a stream without something happening, freezing up. Hold on, we'll be right back. I got to reset. My OBS went down, and that's just annoying. That's not going to keep your viewers either. Bug-free setup. That's pretty that's pretty ABC kind of stuff. Authenticity. I like this one. You've got to be authentic. People are turned into your stream for you. The music is, of course, a key, but the viewers want to see you. They want to hear you. They want to interact with you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on Spotify. And pretty much everybody I watch, I think, is them. And I try to be me. You know, uh, but be authentic. You know, I talk a lot on my streams, and I've had people tell me that I talk too much. Um, but for me, that's part of the enjoyment. And that goes back to interacting with the chat. Should you dress nice on stream? You shouldn't be naked. Well, I mean, unless you look like Mashup Mike, then that's okay. Um, Yeah, do not self promote in another person's stream until you're prompted. Yeah, yeah. Just don't walk in and start saying, "Hey, I got a stream tonight at 9 o'clock." Okay, yeah, come on. No, 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 no. If the streamer, or if you've been in that guy's, here we go again. If you've been in that person's stream before and you know it's okay, maybe that's one thing. Or send them a note, whisper, "Hey, would it be all right if I let people know that I've got a stream on or whatever?" Yeah, just be courteous, and again, that's going to transfer. I'm thinking that's going to transfer over into people seeing you and feeling like they can come into your stream. Let's see. I'm going to hold off on that. I wanted to touch bases on that one, but that might be one that's going to cause a little something. But let's see. Hold on a second. You have to be interesting enough, and that's important. You don't want to be boring, I guess, and that is a big deal. People are coming to your stream and they're hanging out with you. Anybody can play the '80s music, or anybody can play rock music. I like to play rock. I like to play rock, and I like to play mellow late at night, rock during the day. Sometimes some dancey stuff, but that's kind of where I lean. Um, and but you got to be interesting enough, and be consistent and notify people. And I try to do that with my moderators and a few of my people that my friends and stuff that I know that are kind of fans. I will text them or Facebook them or Twitter them or whatever. Hey, I'm going on in a half hour. Just what I say is just in case, and yeah, they're saying let your people know. Ah, I like this one. Um, there are some Twitch pages on Facebook, and I know I'm on Facebook, and I'm old, and so that's that's what I do. The old follow for follow. That's not gonna build your chat. That's not gonna help it. You know. Oh yeah, follow me. I'll follow you, and you'll get your numbers up, and yada yada yada. Don't even worry. Don't even worry about that. And I think probably most people here, you've probably already got affiliate. And maybe if you're maybe a beginning streamer and you just want to get that affiliate mark, then maybe whatever. But that's just to get by. But that's not going to build your chat, and we want to build your chat. That's what we talk about. Now, let's see. Do I want to? There's two things there, but I might want to hold off on those. Whoops, sorry about that. That's my DJ thing. Where are we going here? Where are we going now? There's my moderator thing. That's good. I want to touch bases on that. Moderators. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's pop over. Let's pop over here. We're popping out of order here. Let's pop over here. One of my best streams have been ones that have used a variety of music. So again, um, this person was primarily a house DJ. It sounded like most of the time, um, and he changed over variety of music and not sticking to one specific style. Because when see when I switched to that, I lost a lot of my house music lovers, but I gained so many more than just the house heads for the variety. Um, to be honest, my best streams are ones of variety. So yeah, um, don't have a rock stream or don't have a house stream, which there are a crap load of house streams. House and 80s, I think, are the two most popular things on Twitch. Um, just a guess. Variety, a Tennessee girl says variety is good. Try to mix it up, and I'm probably bad about that. Um, too many Irish. I'm when I say I'm doing a rock night, yeah, maybe I should try to mix up. Now, if I'm on a train, that may be a different situation. If I'm on a metal train or a rock train or I'm on a country train. Well, you're not really going to mix it up. You know, country trains are not huge trains, by the way, but they are fun. So yeah, so mix it up. They're saying mix it up. Um, People, okay, this is oh yeah, the partner push. The partner push thing is huge right now, and I see it all the time. Um, and a lot of times they'll put it in their description, like you'll see the name, because a lot of times they'll say, oh yeah, it's Rock Night or whatever, and so they'll say partner push. Excuse me. I guess I guess that's cool. I have no um, delusions about ever being partner. Um, boy, excuse me. And if you're gonna do it, be careful. I got a whole page here on partner pushing that one of my DJ buds sent me. Um, and yeah, so um, let's see, where did that go? Where did that partner push page go? Is anybody here pushing for partner? Anybody? Did anybody care? Let's see. Use the tools available. Oh yeah, okay. Moderators. Yeah, this is a little bit of moderator stuff here. Um, so a good moderator. I don't know if a good moderator can make or break your show, but it can definitely help. You're pushing for a retirement. I like that. Um, you find moderators that work together that are more than just they more than just wanting the title of being a moderator, right? That's you know oh, I'm a moderator, I've got a sword, ooh ah, no. Finding those that are willing to really step up and bring you raids. A moderator, one of the moderators I used to have, I don't ever know what happened to her. She kind of like fell off the face of Twitch, but she was really good about arranging raids. She knew other moderators, and she would know that, oh, that moderator, oh, so and so's on. I know they're a moderator, and she would go to that moderator and say, hey, when are you guys leaving? Hey, Chuck the DJ's on. Can you raid him? Can you ask your streamer to raid him? And that was great. That's a mod job. That's a moderator. When I'm modding for my buddy DJ Ryan, I try to do the same thing. And some of you are probably in here that I've probably asked, hey, can you raid my buddy Ryan? And that's just something that's moderators, and they're interacting with your chat, and they're keeping people involved, and they're making things fun. And one of the things here, use the tools available. If you're a moderator, yeah, things like polls. You can put a poll up, and if you're in the chat and something, and all of a sudden people are talking about, what are we going to have for dinner, or what's your favorite style of music, throw a poll up there. Less fun, not Alice. Less fun all the time. Um, put a poll up there. And if you don't know how to put a poll up there, it's really easy to do. Learn how to do it, or send me a whisper. I'll tell you how to do a poll. Yeah, what's your favorite Irish polka? Yeah, there you go. Or Mr. Latin House likes his Latin polkas. I still have to work on that. But that's the kind of thing they're talking about. Channel redemptions, predictions. It helps liven up the channel. You don't want to overuse them or distract from the streamer, but use them if you see the chat slowing down, or you need to distract the chat from something that may be happening bad. The streamer can bring a variety can bring variety to the stream, but you are able to bring some variety from the chat. So work within the chat. If you're a moderator, your reputation. The moderator is there to help your reputation. One of my moderators is pretty fairly well known. I like it when she's in the chat, because when she's chatting, Victor likes to be on polls. Um, you know, People like to chat with her because she's fun. She's flirty. She's fun, and that's cool. She likes that. Um, the mods must also. Oh, if you've got a group of moderators, you've got like more than one moderator. That says here, to form some sort of group communication platform. So the mods can talk amongst themselves. Maybe they need to do something, and the mods are talking amongst themselves, and they're doing it to make your chat better. And if your chat's better, then the people are going to stay there, and they're going to tell their friends, "Hey, come see Chuck the DJ, or come see Sam Nation, come see Irish Dragon, come see DJ Alice, come see whoever." You know that that's part of the community, of this whole thing, and that's what we're trying to do. There, let's see what we got over here. don't overuse the commands. Yeah, oh yeah, so um, if you've got a bunch of moderators in your chat, maybe have one of your moderators be responsible for like doing the shout outs when another DJ comes in. To have let's see, if five mods all send a shout out in a row, it'll dilute the value of the shout out in the channel. Um, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but it's an interesting point. Um, if you go into if I go into a chat somewhere and you know the first moderator that sees me sends that shout out, hey, follow the Shuck the DJ. I'm like, hey, cool, that's great, and now another moderator does the same thing, or another moderator does the same thing. Now I've had that out there 3 or 4 times. I don't know if that really um, uh, dilutes the chat. I don't know if it makes me feel any less special. Maybe the people in the chat think, why is he keeps getting all these shout outs? I don't know. But that's some of this stuff is personal. Um, you know, again, it's be you. Be you. Do what you want to do. Um, all right. So let's see. Personal response. Um, Yeah, and the personalized responses. I like that. If somebody drops a biddy, somebody does a gift sub, somebody does a sub, getting that acknowledgement is really important because I know that if I go into somebody's chat and I gift somebody a sub or I sub that chat or I drop some biddies or whatever, I guess that goes down to ego. We all have ego, some more than others. But yeah, if you drop, you kind of want to be acknowledged for that. So, and if you aren't, you might go like, well, what's the deal? And that may just be another reason why this person goes over to this DJ stream as opposed to this DJ stream. you know so keep it up. Keep your mods up, or God help you if you're a streamer, even what like me, I call myself a baby streamer. And like I say, I don't have that many people in my stream, but I do pay attention to my music, and I'm doing this. I don't always see stuff. Oh, look, there's a poll I missed. I missed the poll. um is Chuck the DJ the best, the best dressed talk show host? 5 people voted yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. So it looked like 7 people voted. So I appreciate that. And I wish I would have known that one up there. I didn't see it. And that's another thing. Maybe if you're a moderator and you put a poll up, spam the chat. Poll up. I do that when I do Ryan's. I write poll up, and I just copy and paste it. So it's like four they go pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. So I think that more so helps because that person that you're giving a shout out to is not seeing the shout out. Yeah, yeah. So everybody likes a shout out. Everybody likes to be acknowledged. Like this goes back to the ego thing. We all have an ego. Depending upon how deep or how big or how large. Mine's huge, by the way, which is a lot of my problems. Um, and I don't mind being shouted out. I like that, and I acknowledge for some of those things. Um, so um, a lot of this stuff. Let's see. What did I? Oh, okay. So here's one. Here's one. Um, this individual said I would say our best podcast, because they were doing podcasts for a while and they've actually stopped doing it, but um, uh, when their viewers gave opinions and they talked about controversial topics like politics. Now they were doing a podcast, and so it was like this. So they're asking for opinions. I don't know if you want to do that in your stream. You're watching the cat to see if it catches any fish. Oh, yeah, oh, our kitty cat right there loves the fishies. He does. He does. Um, but he never gets in the tank. We don't let him in the tank. Um, but I don't know. I don't know if you're just a regular streamer. If you're just doing a music stream, I don't know if you want to go into that. I've been a mod for 2 people that made partner. The advice I always give is you will not make it the first time. Don't give up and try again. Oh yeah, I've heard that. If you are striving for partner, it's very true. It's hard, and you probably aren't going to get it just the first time. Mashup Mike, it took him 6 months of grinding away to make it. Uh, Irish Dragon, thank you. My buddy KGB recently made Partner. Actually, I think right around the same time Mashup Mike did. I know he had to do it a couple of times. Partner, when I started on Twitch, oh yeah, to make Partner, you had to have an average of so many days, and then you had to have an average of like I can't remember what it was, 79 viewers or something like that. And I was like, well, I'm never going to have 79 viewers, so I'm not even going to worry about it. I don't know what the big push for being a partner is. I guess you get more emotes if you're a partner, and all that kind of stuff. DJ Buck Rogers going for it now too. Now I'm going to piss people off. Here it comes. Are you ready? I'm going to piss you off. And again, I'm not going to use any names, but there were a couple of streamers that would raid me regularly, um, and I more so than appreciate it. But now here comes the partner push, and there I was told that yeah, I gotta raid the other guys making partners pushes because we're all working with each other, and we're all trying to support each other. I got it. I understand that, but that again, Chuck ego, right? That hurt my feelings because you're not going to raid me. You're not going to support me. You're not going to help me. You're going to go over there and help these guys. Well, can you maybe just, sometimes raid me? Not just out and out say I'm not going to raid you anymore because I'm going for partner. And that I I don't know. Victor Dancer, how you doing? You think it's easier to make partner now? Are you a partner, Victor? I don't know if Victor is a partner or not. Um, but we're getting we're getting very close to the hour. And so what I want to say, and I hope maybe some of this. Oh, Victor made partner. Congratulations, Victor. You jerk. Um, no. Um, what I want to say about this, and I hope maybe a couple of these ideas have sunk in, have given you ideas. Um, a lot of these things that were pointed out to me, I have tried in my 5 years, over 5 years now, on Twitch, and I think sometimes you hmm, you can't have a top without having a bottom, right? You understand that? And you got the top, and you got the bottom, and you got the middle, right? And it all has to work together to make the one thing work. And Twitch is like that. You got the top streamers, you got the bottom streamers, you got some middle streamers. You need to have it all. And we're not all going to be top streamers, you know. And last year I went through my transformation. I stepped away from Twitch. I said I'm not I'm done. I'm leaving. I don't need this heartache anymore. And I was gone for like I think 2 months, and then I came back. Um, because I missed it. I enjoy playing music, and I enjoy when I have a chat. I enjoy the chat, and that's the main thing. No matter what you're doing, whether you're trying for partner or you're just trying, um, uh, you know, to make some money like we all were during the pandemic, or you're just trying to hang on. You got to be doing it. You got to be doing it for fun and for the heart because that's going to carry over. People are going to see that, you know. And I think if it's not fun, why do it? Right? Why if it's not any fun, why even do it? Victor, thank you for the 100 biddies. I appreciate that. As Sam Nation says, that's part of being authentic, and that's true. It's easy to leave. It's harder to stay away. Yes, it's an addiction, isn't it, Irish? It's an addiction. Um, I actually in the 5 years, over 5 years now that I've been doing this, I think twice I've walked away. I've taken the green screen down. I've packed it up. I've thrown it away. I've torn all the gear down and hung it up. Um, and I've always came back. I think one time I came back because Mr. Lattenhouse asked me to be on a raid train, or invited me to be on a raid train, it just what's the when I just when I thought I was out, he pulled me back, and then it starts all again, and it is fun, and you got to do it. You got to do it for you. You got to do it for your soul. Um, and I have completely blown my hour today and not done any of my normal segments. We have a segment called On This Day in Music that we normally do. We have a segment called Story Time with Chuck that we do. We have a phone call segment that we do, and I've my interview. We've completely lost all that. Um, that's true. He said, "I'm sitting this one." Yeah, yeah, I did, and a week later I signed up. Yeah, yeah, because I had torn down. I said, "Nope, I'm done. I'm out of here." And Mr. Lattenhouse, dragged my butt back in. You did a phone call segment with Mr. I interviewed my wife on episode number 2. Episode number 1, um, I interviewed DJ Head, and if those of you know DJ Head, nurse. I'm going to get this. Lorianne. Thank you. I need to hydrate. Thank you. I do. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know if this has helped anybody. I hope so, um, and it's given you a few ideas, if nothing else. I might go a little over time here because thank you, Alice. I got 20 viewers. Um, because what I forgot to do and we're right here at the end. This is what I call run to the chat. And I know 20 viewers is great for me, Alice. You're exactly right. Thank you so much. Um, so I'm gonna do this for a couple minutes, and I know that you've actually been chatting, and you've been a very good chat, by the way. Thank you so much. If there's anybody that has anything, questions, ideas, concerns, rants, thoughts, if you want to throw something out, or just a question about whatever else, you'd like to talk about, I'm more than happy to take it out. You're sold. You order the book. Um, Cyberture, another great streamer. Mr. Lattenhouse, thank you so much. Great stream. Um, Beeferg, how you doing? Make sure again, I know we always say this. Everybody says this, but follow the streamers. Mr. Lattenhouse is a great streamer to follow. Cyberture is a great streamer to follow. DJ Alice is a great streamer. Irish, Mashup Mike, if he's still here. I Commando, by the way, Beeferg. And Sam Nation. Sam Nation, if you are a streamer and you need emotes, Sam Nation, free emotes, and a crap load of them. Probably 80% of my emotes are all Sam Nation emotes. A great thing. Mashup Mike. He, Mashup Mike and I have been around together for a while, and I wish I would have met him when we were on Maui. That would have been amazing. But another great Victor Dancer, another great streamers. You follow streamers at a distance. They agreed to the because the restraining order. Yeah, Victor's a great. If you're a late night person, Victor does a lot of late night shows. And late. I mean, like into the morning hours. Um, you know. Oh look, there's Stream Elements. Just happened to bring up the links for Sam Nation, to follow Sam Nation and for his free Twitch emotes. It's right there. Good timing. Maybe we say it 3 or 4 times. Tennessee Girl, one of my newer mods, if not the newest. I think Alice might be one of my newest mod, followed by Tennessee Girl. I appreciate you both being here. I knew Tina Baby could not be here today. I knew DJ Ryan couldn't be here today. I knew Jimbo, and I knew my wife could not be here today. So I'm glad that you guys managed to pop in. But at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you all for coming. I do appreciate it. I hope you learned something or not. Feel free to give me a holler, and I'm going to play a little outgo music, and I'm going to stop the recording. And we're going to get ready to put this on YouTube.